Welcome to Transforming the Toddler Years, a Core 4 parenting podcast blending soul and science-based strategies to empower pandemic moms like you, raising kindergarten-ready kids. I'm Cara Tyrrell, your host, a lifetime lover of littles, girl mom, early childhood educator, and conscious parenting coach who truly believes that how we connect and collaborate with our kids in the first 5 years is how we raise world-ready kids who will change this world. Welcome back to Transforming the Toddler Years. Today, I want to start by shouting out all of the preschool teachers and the daycare teachers who are out there every day hanging out with your kids, who are supporting and loving them through this huge transition that is post-pandemic learning. So to all of you, I go into your classrooms, I observe you, I cheer for you, and I am so in awe of the hard work that you are doing to support this beautiful generation of COVID kids so that they can be their best selves and have a lifelong love of learning. Today's episode is about sharing. We circle back to this repeatedly and for really good reasons. I was at a home visit recently with a mom who has twins, and they are currently 10 months old. And so the socializing piece is becoming important. Hanging out with kids who are somewhat similarly aged and starting that navigation of social norms and relationships outside of their siblinghood, right? Because twins are just such a special and unique relationship to begin with. And she was sharing a story with me about one of these experiences, a play date. And play dates, as we know, are the very best way to support your kids to learn really important social skills like sharing. And it's one of the first ones that's going to pop up for you. So she was sharing this story about, her dear friend, the mom who is the adult, and how they socially jive. And it's a beautiful thing. And getting together with their kids and watching them use their newfound social learning. And the other little girl did one of I like to call it a quick swipe, right? A quick swipe of a toy or a quick grab of a toy. And it's jarring. And one of her kids was kind of surprised by it. Both moms were kind of surprised by it. And what we typically do in that moment is, because it's such a jarring moment for us and because it triggers this reaction inside of us that automatically sends us to how our kids, quote, I'm air quoting here, should interact with each other when they want a turn with a toy. We jump all the way to the best possible expectation and outcome. We need to share. Show us how you share. Sharing is important. Come on, we can share, right? But there's so much that happens in the middle for you and for your kiddos. So today I want to explore that middle a little bit, because sharing is the result of the skill set. The skill set is, I understand that I want something. I understand that my friend wants the same thing. I understand we both can't have it at the same time. Therefore, we need to come up with a plan for who's going to have it and who's going to have it next, and how long that person is going to have it until the other person gets a turn. Whoa, that's a big skill set. That requires self-awareness. It requires cognitive planning. It requires a little bit of time management. It requires a lot of emotional regulation. And it requires one person to wait. And if you have been listening to this podcast for any length of time, then you just realized, she just ticked off all 5 of the skills that our kids need to be practicing to be successful in school and life. Yes, I did. It takes all 5 of those to calmly negotiate and navigate a turn-taking opportunity. And so when we jump all the way to, you know how to share, come on, let's do it, they don't. And your kids specifically have had limited opportunity to practice this skill because of their limited opportunities during the pandemic to be out there with kids their own age or even a little bit older, watching, learning, checking out the modeling, whether it was a positive interaction that had a positive outcome or a negative interaction that had a negative outcome. All that information is how they create, how they approach these social situations. This is not just about a toy. It is about their social, emotional, and interpersonal development. So how are you going to support them in these moments? Well, the first thing that you need to realize when you walk into these play dates is that you are there as a support. I remember the days when we could walk into play dates. I could go hang with my friend in the corner with a cup of warm tea and have a conversation and watch my kids play with hers. I remember those days, but they were few and far between. And it's because until we had scaffolded what healthy, connected, integrated, fun, creative, interpersonal, shared play looked and sounded like for our kids, we couldn't retreat to the corner of the room. They needed us to be there. And your kids need you. So your mindset when you walk into these play dates is, I am here to support these kids to learn how to successfully interact. And when we leave, we can say we had some really fun moments and we had a lot of learning moments. That's your job as a conscious, collaborative parent of pandemic kids. So when you see that sharing interaction about to happen, or you watch that trigger and you watch your kids' tells, be ready. It looks like you would like a turn with that duck. Sarah has the duck right now. Would you like a turn? Be ready. Yeah, they'll indicate to you in one way or another. If you have a pre-verbal kid, they will certainly communicate with you. Okay, Sarah, Joey would like a turn with that duck. How long do you think you're going to be playing with it? Whatever the indicator is, and be ready with your timer strategy. I teach this in my course in great detail, how to use timers, and they are magical. Be ready with your timer strategy. I wonder if we could set this timer for 2 minutes. And when it goes off, then it will be Joey's turn. Set the timer. Scaffold this for them. They will learn over time how to say, may I have a turn in 2 minutes, please? They will learn over time that words communicate their request better than the quick snatch and grab. They need to do the learning part. And if you're open and available to support them in that, they will learn quickly because they are little sponges. Their brains are the most beautiful, magical, growing, morphous moment of their lives. You are the input that connects how to use words to get the desired outcome that they are looking for. I started this episode with a thank you to all the educators and the childcare staff, and I'm going to close it with a thank you to you. If you are invested in your child's learning this deeply because you know how important it is to who they are going to be for the rest of their lives, such that you're listening to a podcast episode on it, then I want to thank you for being you and for raising these kids. Please take a couple minutes and scroll all down to the end of this on whatever device you're on and leave a rating and leave a review. And if you feel so inclined, share this episode on socials. Tag us at Core4Parenting, the number 4 in there, and we can celebrate with you too. This is a really important time period in your child's life, and you know that, and you're showing up. Until the next episode, stay mindful and proactive as we transform the toddler years.